All right, everyone. Surprise, surprise. Yes, indeed, the Biden administration has been implicated in causing the situation that led up to what's currently happening at Newark Airport. The problem is not even just the singular airport. The problem is that when hundreds and hundreds of flights a day are being canceled, actually, I believe it's technically thousands, it tends to clog up the other airports as well. Well, we can't land. There's no air traffic control to be found. We can't take off. Sorry, folks, you're going to have to miss your vacation. Link in the description, archived, of course. I suggest that the Trump administration should immediately attempt to fix this problem. Expedite it and deregulate the system as much as possible and just get things fucking done. It would be like night and day from the prior administration, where again, you had that odd situation in East Palestine, Ohio, where the train derails and is lit on fire for some reason. We're not still exactly sure why they decided to immolate the contents. And then Pete Buttigieg, he didn't even show up until right after Trump had showed up. Trump gave people cleaning materials and purified water and stuff like that, and was handing it out of the van in order to attempt to at least topically help the people of East Palestine. And then Buttigieg was apparently, I'm sure that this was a behind closed doors situation. You just know that other officials commanded Pete Buttigieg to go to East Palestine when they realized that Trump had already showed up. And they're like, this is going to look really, really bad. You need to go there. And then he goes there and he's in full, like, construction equipment gear. He looks like the OSHA poster boy, and, talks with people for a little while and then leaves. Wow, that was really helpful. Then it took Biden an entire year to show up. Yeah, I mean, he was asleep the whole time, so, we can't blame him too much. The air traffic problem is partially rooted in the fact that the Biden administration, now keep in mind the timeline of events. This is important to acknowledge. Donald Trump, term number one, he says even before he was the candidate, even before the election, the general election actually began, says, look, our airports are dilapidated, they're falling apart, they're basically third world. We've got a lot of problems and we need to address them. A timeline was set to replace the aging air traffic control system in our airports at that time when he took office. When he first, I believe that was 2017 when that particular initiative was made. But then Joe Biden ends up being selected, we'll say. His administration appears to have completely ignored the attempt by the original Trump administration to overhaul the airports and to make travel more efficient. It could become less costly in the long term. That would be awfully nice, by the way. And it would certainly be more secure. Trump had made an attempt to overhaul the airports, and the Biden administration for 4 years just ignored it. They didn't do anything. Pete Buttigieg was too busy establishing, again, link in the description, archived of course, diversity, equity, and inclusion programs within air traffic control and within, airlines in general, which is great, I guess. Okay, that's fine. It's a good pet project, I suppose, and some people actually support it. Look at what the result has been. The loss of a major airport hub that services internationally and has clogged up the entire goddamn system, causing by now already probably billions and billions of dollars in damage overall to the US economy. Now the Trump administration needs to move quickly, dismantle the DEI bullshit in this field, get rid of it entirely, ignore the federal judges if they try to impede you, and establish the fact that this is part of national security, which it is. I'm sure that airlines would agree, generally speaking. If an airline wants to go woke, I don't have any problem with that. I usually fly Delta. You'll see some wokeness on their little screen there behind the seat in front of you when you hear the pre-liftoff sort of spiel that they give. But the food is good, so yeah, I'm not going to complain too much. I'm just going to roll my eyes and ignore it. That's perfectly fine. But for the federal government at the bureau level to have established a bunch of DEI woke bullshit for air traffic controllers and pilots and things like that, to the exclusion of actually following through with the ability to reform the system, which apparently runs on floppy disks, is completely insane. It's literally nuts. It's crazy. No reasonable person would prioritize the former over the latter. Yeah, take a look at my computer, man. It's super sophisticated. It was made in 1978. Does this really make any sense whatsoever? I realize that there are security concerns with more modern systems, but they seem to pale in comparison to the fact that the current system being used in certain airports cannot really be repaired very easily because there aren't many people alive that actually know how to repair them at all. So if they go down, as in the case of Newark Airport, it takes an extended length of time to actually get them back running. Now, if this is a minor airport, let's say it's BTV, it's Burlington's airport here in Vermont. Well, it's an inconvenience to a small number of people, few hundreds. Newark is a major airport. We should focus on the major airport hubs that service internationally before we do anything else. Trump needs to expedite this, and I'm hopeful that he will. And he should grandstand on the issue too. He should talk about East Palestine, Pete Buttigieg, and the whole nine yards. He should talk about all of these things and, sort of compress them together in one message to the public and make them aware of the fact that number one, the prior administration failed you. And number two, I'm actually going to do something about it, but you need to howl mockery at the judicial system because apparently everything I do is going to be blocked. That's what Donald Trump needs to do. And by the way, I would support him clearly in this particular effort. That's about all. Peace out.